Hey, speak for yourself, listeners. Before we start the show, I wanted to tell you about our brand new Fox Sports app and website, foxsports.com. Reimagined for the modern sports fan. Go ahead, download the new app now. You don't even have to pause this episode. Every day on the new app and website, you'll see the top stories in sports, plus a rich world of written content, videos, social media, and analytics to give you a 360-degree view of the most important stories of the day. Streaming live TV has never been so easy or elegant. Every Fox Sports game, including all pregame and postgame shows, are just one click away. For the extra invested fan, we also go deep with real-time wagering lines, trending prop bets, win probability, and key player projections. So download the new Fox Sports app or visit www.foxsports.com. Now, let's start this show. Welcome to Speak for Yourself, presented by Hyundai. Marcel Swada here with Emmanuel.
Hey, we about to get buckets.
We about to go get those buckets. Swish. Man with a playing suit on, too. I love it. Let's start off with, of course, my Clippers and the Lakers, who put on a show last night to restart the season. Let's be real. My squad didn't have Lou Williams and Montrezl Harrell, but moving on, they still had Paul George, who had 30 points, including a game-time three, under 30 seconds left. On the Lakers' next possession, LeBron James hit a put-back shot to go up by 2. Then on the other end, LeBron stepped up on defense, stopping Kawhi Leonard and PG to close it out. So, Acho, were you impressed by the Lakers' win over the Well, they weren't on
Get it out. Get it out.
Clippers.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's going to be a fantastic show.
Oh, here we go.
Because, Marcellus, in order to know your future, you got to know your past.
Oh, okay.
Right? And speaking of the past, I'm impressed, but you should be too, because let's take a listen to what you, sir, said yesterday.
Don't use me
if we may. Let's just take a listen.
No Lou Will. And then game time decision with Patrick Beverly. You're not playing our squad. So, Lakers, if y'all can't beat us, we're already up on the season series 2-1. Y'all can't beat us while we jogging, it's a wrap.
So my man here sitting next to me said the Lakers should win the game.
They should.
They should.
Yeah.
And what the Lakers do, they did win the game.
Yeah.
So, of course, I'm impressed because when it comes down to it, I don't care how much you win by. I care that you won. And that's exactly what the Lakers did. And by the way, the Lakers, they ain't played great either. They shot as poorly as they've shot all season, 39% from the field.
Yeah.
The Lakers were winning 35 minutes of the game, so they basically dominated the joint. So, Marcellus, I don't understand, sir, how someone cannot be impressed by a W, because a W is a W. You don't get more than one win if you win by 20 points, if you win by 40 points, or if you win by 2 points. So I'm impressed like anyone with some sense should be, my friend.
Oh, okay. Let me enlighten.
You still writing?
You know what? Here comes the pain. Let me enlighten you, young man.
Please.
Remember, you were coming out the womb. Man, I was doing this, 16 years old already, pushing a whip. I have a little more experience with these things. Let me enlighten you to the 2 scoreboards. There's always 2 scoreboards. A lot of fans don't really respect the second scoreboard, but it exists. There's one that has the physical score. We won the game. And then there's one during the course of the game, and certainly your coach will point out after the game, the psychological scoreboard. Some will call momentum. Uncle Mo is in the building. You ever been down 10 points, but really you're up? You're like, these boys are in trouble. Patrick Mahomes comes to mind when I think about the dual scoreboard.
Okay.
So there's 2 scoreboards. Yesterday, the Lakers won that game without Trez in the building, without Lou Will in the building. But boy, did they lose the psychological scoreboard warfare game. Let me tell you why. If you're going to go out there and beat the Clippers when they're undermanned, stop the Clippers. Smash the Clippers.
Here he goes.
I need them to understand, when y'all don't have half your relay team, y'all not even going to be in the race. But to go to a last possession where you got the senior citizen out there finally playing some defense, and then you're going to have to use that to get a nail-biter 2-point victory over the depleted Clippers. Trust me, when you went back in that locker room, Doc Rivers was like, hey, man, look, we ain't play good either. But I'm going to tell you one thing, the boys in trouble when we really are ready, fully loaded. Even you got to respect that.
Here's my thing, bruh.
Say
The psychological scoreboard. You have to respect the psychological scoreboard. You don't get chips for winning a psychological scoreboard, coach. You don't get rings for winning a psychological psychological
KC won 10
scoreboard.
down in the fourth quarter. Psychologically, they
But
were up.
what the scoreboard say? Because the scoreboard said that KC won the game. What did the scoreboard say yesterday?
It didn't say that.
The scoreboard said
Because we didn't have Mahomes. We didn't have Mahomes.
I understand what you're saying, but here's my other problem, bro. The Lakers bench, sure, it outscored a Clippers bench that wasn't maligned. They didn't have their stars. They didn't have Trez. They didn't have Lou Will. But Pat Bev did come off the bench, a starter. The only time he came off the bench all season was yesterday.
Talk about that.
So he didn't come off the bench, Coach. It's not as if they just was rolling slappies out there to play. They still had Pat Bev come off the bench.
Yeah.
So I am impressed because, bro, I don't care what you win by. That don't matter. And in all honesty, work smarter, not harder. If the Lakers would have gone out there and won by 50, that counts for one dub. They went out there, they won by 2. That counts as one dub. So the Lakers know this. You can only beat the person against you. You can only beat the person on the court. You think the Lakers mad that Lou Will went to Magic City and got them wings and missed them games? That ain't got nothing to do with Bron. Ain't got nothing to do with AD. Ain't got nothing to do with them cats. So I don't want to hear about, well, Lou Will wasn't out there. Well, Trez wasn't out there. Kawhi, he hasn't really played that much. You give me all these excuses. You're not a man that makes excuses, Marcellus. Why are you starting now?
I'm not making excuses. I'm giving you reasons. Reasons. Another song that was out when I was doing this and your butt. Let me help you out again. 37 points weren't on that court. 37. You win by 2. Okay, I'm not even going to play that little game on the calculator.
Please don't, because it don't make sense.
Yeah,
that's
sense. Weak. That's corny.
It is.
But let me give you one that ain't. I never thought that I would sit across from someone I respect, so intelligent, so, I can say this, articulate. I love you, boy. You be breaking it down. But right now, you sound like a dumb jock. You sound like a dumb jock.
Sir?
You sound like a football player who's sitting there and doesn't respect the difference between winning a game in football and winning a series in basketball. Oh, wait a minute. In basketball, when these two teams meet, it's going to be 4 of 7.
It is.
So we're going to have to get to a law of averages. Are the Lakers going to outscore the Clippers bench when they play in a 7-game series?
You got to play the game, sir. You got to play the game. You philosophize.
I'm giving you.
You philosophize.
Did you just tell me that to know your future, got to know your past?
That's true.
So you want to know all the past times that they played against the Clippers? Who outscored who in the bench?
Get to the point. You get to the point.
Don't joke. Okay, so that's one point. Here's the other point. When you're talking about law of averages in a series, it's not do or die in football. Like in football, we do have that wild card where it's like, hey, we just won. It's not necessarily what the coaches want. Coaches want a reliable, predictable game plan executed. Therefore, we understand what we are. We're consistent. What we saw last night, the only thing that was consistent is LeBron can't play well against the Clippers because the Clippers got them LeBron stoppers. And what's also consistent, AD missed the 34 points. I know he could go to the club last night because they in the bubble, but he would if they weren't. And then somebody will walk up to AD and say, dang, dog, you were balling. You had 32 at the end of 3. What'd you end up with? 34. Oh, wait a minute. So you played the Clippers 4 times, AD, and you know what his point scoring has been in those quarters? In the fourth quarter? 0, 2, 2, and 4.
I heard Colin say that, okay?
Yeah,
I already heard that.
Yeah.
I already heard that.
You already heard that?
I already heard that.
And what does that add up to? You can't rely on your second best player when it matters most. So you're going to put the senior citizen out there and say, stop him on defense, stop LeBron, stop Paul George and Kawhi, and do that in 7 games.
Marcellus,
Boy, stop.
Let me tell you, my brother.
Are we going 3 laps?
Yeah, we're going all the laps we need,
Okay.
bro. Marcellus, you started this conversation with psychology.
So strong.
So I'm going to end it, my brother, with psychology. You speak of being a dumb jock. Well, sir, I went to get my master's degree in psychology for this moment right here. I knew them 4 semesters that it took me would come down to this moment. You know what you're doing? You're doing what I assume Clippers fans have done, which is self-handicapping. And you know what self-handicapping is, if I may explain it for y'all? Self-handicapping is what Marcellus is doing. He built in an excuse yesterday. Well, the Clippers don't have Lou Will, and the Clippers, they don't have Trez. So even when the Lakers win, you are going to undermine their success because you're going to diminish the win because you already built in an excuse for the Clippers. That's what you're doing. The real psychological thing you're playing, it's not on the scoreboard. It's in Marcellus's head, and he's self-handicapping. Don't do that. Don't take away what the Lakers did and what the Lakers achieved because you had to build in excuses. Excuses don't do nothing for nobody, Coach. They don't do nothing.
They don't. I'm going to let you win that point. Maybe not the entire argument, but I know me and you, we can go to battle. 2 hands up, it's going to be a battle. you tie one of my hands behind my back, please knock me out. Lakers didn't knock out the Clippers. Let's move on to some breaking news with Antonio Brown. Woo. NFL has suspended AB 8 games for violating the league's personal conduct policy. The suspension will go into effect the first 8 games of this season. Possible landing spot for AB could be in Baltimore, where Lamar Jackson was lobbying to add the star receiver to the Ravens earlier this week. Think AB will be back in the NFL this season?
Let's talk this ball, bro. He will. He will. And I was a guy who a year ago, I said, Marcellus, I was like, man, AB's never going to play again. But then I saw the Saints work him out, and I was like, oh, some teams are sniffing around to see if he still got the juice. But you know the problem, bro.
Yeah.
You can't commit as an NFL organization to something ambiguous, right? In AB's situation, it's been ambiguous.
Yeah.
We don't know how long he's suspended. We don't know if it's indefinitely. We don't know if he can help our team. Well, now the NFL has come out and made it clear. AB, you suspended 8 games unless something else pops off. You suspended 8 games. Bro, as crazy as the climate has been right now in the NFL, somebody will take a shot, and I'll say in the next week or two. You don't know what's about to happen in the NFL. They're going to create a bubble, what games are going to be eliminated, what games are going to come, what games are going to go. So if I'm a team, and right now the rosters are in flux, the NFL may give us more players on our roster during the course of the season, I'm taking AB. All we know is he's going to miss the first 8 games. Bruh, by the time we get to the first 8 games, depending on your bye week, you play 7, whatever the case may be, take a chance on AB. Dude is still a bona fide star. Last time we saw him play through the course of a season, even when we saw him in that little stretch with the Pats, dude still got busy a little bit. I think a team's going to take a chance. I think we see him this season.
Oh, absolutely. This could be the quickest segment ever. Hell yeah. Like right now, I know even John Harbaugh, who already had his comments about AB, and to me, players speak, understanding what that sounded like. It sounded like Coach wasn't really for AB being on that roster. I know he wants those words back. He was talking about, oh, you know, it's a process. We evaluate every player, respect to what he's going through right now. We'll handle it accordingly. Everybody is geeked up right now. They were trying to lobby to sign AB when they knew they couldn't sign AB. Now that you can, you're going to sit there and say, oh, there's a Hall of Famer on the shelf. You know what? We don't need him. I can see Seattle right now like, oh, my God, it's for real. Russell Wilson, you know he's already been lobbying for it as well. I can see Baltimore doing it. Let's be real. Almost every situation, unless you already put your foot in your mouth, and respect to Bruce Arians, but he's already nixed this. But he's also had experience with AB, and maybe he's like, look, I know a little bit more than I'm leading on to. So that situation may be an X. Everywhere else I see is open door. Here's the thing. You couldn't marry the idea of AB because why put you, your franchise, your fan base through that experience and then you didn't know if it could come to life? It could come to life now. We can marry execution. We can marry what his resume looks like. So it's one thing in my world. I always go back to Dayton because I'm married now and I just only go there in my head. There was a time where you're single and you're like, man, I like her. God, I love her. Ooh, I want to holler. She got a man. Then one day, somebody told you that somebody know her. They breaking up. Oh, excuse me.
Don't get that text. She's gonna get that text now.
That tune, everything changes. I think right now in this moment, it's going to change. AB's on the roster.
And then you remember, let's talk about AB, bruh. Before this, all the chaos, 6 straight 1,000-yard seasons. And I'm not talking about like 1,001 yards.
Yeah.
You feel me?
Yeah.
Not like 1,005 yards.
Not like Laker wins, like barely.
I'm gonna ignore that. I'm gonna ignore that because I'm up right now. I'm talking about 1,300 yards, 1,500 yards, 1,300 yards.
Thank you.
1,800 yards.
Yo.
AB is not just good. AB is a freak. And the NFL has shown us that you take chances on freakazoids because they are few and far between. Everybody in the NFL has a level of talent.
Yeah.
And then every now and then, you got Megatrons and you got these mega stars and you got people that are transformers. AB is one of them transform type of dudes. AB gonna get that shot.
He gonna get that shot. He deserves that shot. I just hope he takes full advantage of this opportunity. AB, this doesn't happen often. Even for Hall of Famers, they will cast you away. They almost got to that place where AB, take care of your mind, your body, your heart, your character. Show the best of you, AB, so we can see this for a long time. Coming up, our NBA analyst, NBA champ, Tristan Thompson joins the show. We'll ask if his former teammate LeBron James is the best player in the world. Next, Speak for Yourself is presented by Hyundai. Who asked that question?
Welcome back to Speak for Yourself, presented by Hyundai. Let's talk LeBron James, who put the Lakers on his back last night. The King hit a go-ahead putback late in the game, then he switched gears and stopped Kawhi Leonard and Paul George on defense. Take a listen to LeBron on the win against the crosstown rival.
I love having the ball in my hands, late in the game, tie game, being down, being up. We're two teams in the same city, and two teams that's fighting for one common goal, and that's to win a championship and bring it to the city of Los Angeles and their respective fan base.
Joined now by the one and only Tristan Thompson, a man who knows LeBron very well, former teammate for 4 years. So, Tristan, since you can answer this question best, I'm going to go ahead and start it with you. Is LeBron still the best player in the world?
LeBron Ramon James Sr. is definitely the best player in the
Say it with
NBA.
your chest.
Hands down.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Loud and proud.
Yeah.
Yes, Wally. I'm saying it. Everyone knows it.
Oh.
Everyone that watches basketball knows it. This is why. We all know LeBron didn't shoot it great last night. He shot 31% from the field, but he dominated in many aspects. One thing a man told me growing up, fast horses don't ride long. So with LeBron, yes, first 3 quarters, yes, he wasn't making shots that he usually makes. Defensively, he might have missed a couple of his rotations. But fourth quarter, when the ball and the game's on the line, that man took that ball and made a play.
Talk that talk. Talk that talk.
Tristan Thompson.
See the eyes of a champion.
Tristan Thompson. I love you, big dog, and I understand that LeBron has put in on some of those artifacts behind you, like that old wooden basketball. You guys played together. He helped you and helped your career. But you're still living in nostalgia, brother. You're living in those times where you and LeBron were out there getting it. And you're looking at LeBron through those rose-colored lenses like, he's still the same dude. And he's close to that. But this is not the day where we should even be asking this question. When the dude went out there and missed 13 shots of 19, only 16 points, and had a plus-minus of minus, not plus, 4. So this is not even the right day to go at LeBron's neck, Cam Newton. But I am going to go at his neck. You know that LeBron Ben lost that title of best player in the world when Steph Curry was shooting from the parking lot. And then everybody was like, I can't give it to Steph Curry because he's little and itty-bitty, and was not respecting the three-point game. But then KD was like, well, let me go join Steph Curry and enhance this experience and really tell us who's the best player in the world. KD. Then KD goes and gets hurt. And Kawhi Leonard's like, I'll win a championship, and then I'll be the best player in the world, but nobody's going to really fully give me that because I don't give a damn about the regular season. So right now, LeBron James may be feeling himself. The 8 games in the bubble before we go to the playoffs, I'm the best player in the world. Soon the playoffs start, Kawhi Leonard going to say, get out the way, old man. Here I am again. And then next year, because Kawhi ain't going to give a damn about the regular season, and KD's going to be healthy, it's KD's again. LeBron's turn of being the best player in the world is back in the days when he played with you, bro.
I'm going to make y'all forget everything Marcellus just said. See, because LeBron had an off night last night, right? He gave you, 16, 11, and 7. Well, even on LeBron's off nights, that was his 14th game, actually, 16, 11, and 7. The company that is Luka and Giannis. That's 2 other MVP
random numbers.
players.
Who cares?
That's not random numbers. That's a fact, sir. So if LeBron is still putting up numbers with the MVPs of the season, if he's still putting up numbers with the MVP of the season, how can you not say he's still MVP caliber? But Marcellus, let's stop with the lazy takes, bro. Let's stop with the lazy takes.
Like that. Yeah, like what you're doing.
The best player, you can't always see it. You can't always make it tangible. You also make those around you better.
What?
Remember how the Clippers, Lou Will, your dog, he ain't played last night, right, Marcellus?
Nah, he wings
ain't
and
play right now.
Wingstop,
right?
Yeah.
Alex Caruso, he did play,
Good
although
wings.
he had the opportunity to leave the bubble. And Caruso, let me just remind you what Caruso did, because Caruso was there on the court. He made one of those game-saving type plays. So the best players, Marcellus, they don't just do things statistically in the box score. They also enhance everybody else around them. That's what LeBron does.
Caruso. Okay, got it.
Tristan?
Acho, that was music to my ears.
Oh, God.
Music to my ears. The MVP, the best player in the world, enhances everyone's game, makes everyone play better. Like you said, Alex Caruso coming and making big plays, big spots. That's what an MVP does. He makes everyone better on the court. Listen, LeBron has been getting, for him, this whole career has been championship or bust. Every year the media says championship or bust, regardless of who's on his team. The year that we played Golden State the first year, we had Kyrie and K-Love out, and we fell short, and they still gave him a hard time. That's how you know we're watching greatness. That's how you know LeBron's the best player in the league. Even last night, they needed to stop. He went and got it done. They need the ball moving, get some assists. He makes it happen. Gets a double-double. 11 assists. Whatever you need from King James, he makes it happen.
That's whatever you need.
That's what the best player in the world does.
Whatever you like, he do for you.
Whatever you need.
Man, this dude is the king of marketing, too. And that was the smartest thing you could do, coming out of high school, being that great. Say, I'm the chosen one and the king, because people will forget when you're not the king, but still call you the king, like Tristan Thompson just did. Everybody's guilty of it. But you got to believe those eyes, because they're telling you exactly what it was. LeBron's out there struggling, let's be real, against two of the top 5 wing players and two-way players in the game, and Kawhi Leonard and Paul George. Y'all got to stop acting like he had an off night. He always has an off night against these Clippers because these boys can stop him. But did they have an off night? Even by their standards, they may have. But I'm looking at 30 points from PG, 28 points from Kawhi Leonard, and then 16 from the best player in the world, but we got an Alex Caruso highlight out of it. Will y'all stop? If you ever walk to the club with me, Tristan Thompson, and I had a stat line like Paul George and Kawhi Leonard, and then you walk up, excuse me, young lady, yeah, you know I had 16, 11, and 7.
Who won?
Ain't nobody hollering at you.
Tristan ain't walking with
Ain't
losers
nobody
to the club.
talking to you with that waxed out
Tristan
line.
ain't walking with losers
Not going to
the
club.
club,
First of all, at your age, we should be going to a lounge, okay? We should be going to a nice lounge and having us a nice glass of wine. That's what we should be having, first and foremost. Second of all, guess what? Paul George and Kawhi, guess what? They had great numbers, but guess who still walked through that door with that 16 and 11?
Facts.
LeBron James. It doesn't matter.
Tristan, here's the thing.
Doesn't matter at the end of the day.
Tristan, here's the thing, because my dog Marcellus, he in his feelings right now, so I'm going to give him some facts. And again, people call me the young buck, but we got to talk our history. Remember Jordan Game 6? Can we pull that up? Jordan Game 6, the most memorable moment of Jordan's career. Boom, he gets a stop. Big stop.
That's the most memorable moment?
Then he goes down and no, because he got to hit the bucket. The whole series.
I'm about to say.
Then he goes, boom, Byron, bucket, Game 6. Clinch, what was that? That was one of the most memorable moments of the greatest player. Well, it was a defensive stop followed by an offensive score. Well, Marcellus, what did we see last night from LeBron?
We saw that.
Didn't we see LeBron? I'm good on Jordan. I'm good on Jordan.
When we had 14 points.
To the king
when
now.
we only had 14 points, we saw it.
Night, Marcellus.
Yeah,
we
14
saw
points.
an offensive bucket. I'm wondering, LeBron, why you shoot so soon with the clock left? Oh, put back. And then on the flip end, Marcellus, what we see, just after he went and got the bucket, he gave you a defensive stop. Now, was it as glamorous? No, but Marcellus, you too grown, sir. You're too old to be living in this Instagram culture where the highlight has to be so phenomenal. It's the same exact thing. A stop followed by a bucket when your team needs you. LeBron is greatness.
You know,
period.
It's really difficult to talk to two guys under 30 because there's so much life in front of you and there's so much life behind me that we're really just talking across from each other. We're just talking by
Tristan and I are talking here.
Well, look,
Tristan, you and I are talking here.
I respect,
no mind.
I respect your acumen. I just don't respect your bias. I don't know if there's any way that not you, Acho. Y'all both are linked because y'all both went to the same school. Tristan Thompson is going to say LeBron is the best player in the world until LeBron clearly shows he hasn't. But you got to dive into the details to realize if KD was healthy right now, will LeBron be the best player in the world? No. If Kawhi, in about a week, Kawhi is going to show you once again who's the best player in the world. And we just keep disrespecting Steph Curry. LeBron is amazing, but not even the best scorer on his team. He does everything, but then they need Anthony Davis, but then they don't get him. And then LeBron shows up in critical moments and saves the day. But that's not the same as saying for 4 quarters, you're the best player in the game. Retort.
Tristan, my dog Marcellus,
the
king of the Clippers. Every picture on this man's Instagram is in Clippers, red, white, and blue. And he gonna talk about bias, Tristan? That's what he gonna really talk to us about?
I said KD and Steph. Or Kawhi when it matters. Huh?
Say something.
So you dressed up like Clipper Dan for Halloween.
That's what I'm
Clipper Darryl, wait a, first of all, put some respect on Clipper Darryl.
Hey, Clipper Dan. Here's my thing, though.
Clipper Darryl.
Marcellus, you giving us all these ifs and buts.
No.
If KD was playing,
Okay.
if Steph were playing, if Kawhi didn't have an off night.
Tristan, I got him. Tristan. I see him every day. I know you used to see him in school all the time and laugh at him. Get away from me, little sorry football player. But now I see him every day talking. This is what he does.
That's my guy.
That's my guy now. But let me tell you one thing. Since he gave me this hypothetical before that I didn't like, but I'm going to give it back to him because obviously he likes it. If we were redrafting right now, who would be your #1 overall pick in the NBA? Emmanuel Acho.
LeBron James.
Oh, you a damn liar.
LeBron.
There he is. Yes, sir.
Tristan, who would you draft? #1.
LeBron James. I'm trying to win. I don't have time to rebuild. I'm trying to win right now.
Win what? LeBron.
I'm trying to win right now.
LeBron loses more in the finals
He gives
than
you whatever
wins.
you want.
What are y'all talking about?
You know what, Tristan? I'm done with this one.
Yeah, please.
Tristan, you and I got this W. Don't pay him no
Ding,
mind.
ding, 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 ding. Come in.
Don't worry. When the playoffs start, listen, LeBron, this is the first game.
Kawhi.
He's just getting the engine started. Watch when the playoffs start.
Kawhi. Yeah, I'm going to watch Kawhi be #1. That's what's going to happen. You know
Coming
how it
up,
goes. Come on.
Matt Ryan says he would pick a Super Bowl ring over a Hall of Fame bust. We'll tell you if we agree with that one. Next, Speak for Yourself, presented by...
Tomorrow on Fox Saturday Baseball, one of the top rivalries in the game takes over prime time as Aaron Judge and the Yankees battle the Red Sox. Another regional action, the Angels take on the Astros. That's tomorrow, 7 Eastern on Fox and the Fox Sports app. Check local listings for the game in your area. In my baseball voice, welcome back to Speak for Yourself, presented by Hyundai. Let's move on to Matt Ryan, who will likely be in the Hall of Fame conversation down the road, even though he has never won the Super Bowl. The former MVP was asked if he had to choose between the Hall of Fame or winning the Super Bowl, and he said he'd take the Super Bowl ring. Joined now by Fox NFL analyst LeVar Arrington. LeVar, would you rather have a Super Bowl ring or a Hall of Fame jacket?
Oh, y'all want me to take it first?
Please.
Yes,
Acho, you don't want to go first? Marcellus, you don't want to go
I mean, you know
first?
I want to, but I'm going to let you go. Yes.
Hey, let me tell you something.
Talk to me.
I'm taking the gold jacket 10 times out of 10 times. To say I'd rather have the Super Bowl ring versus the jacket is a passive, maybe even passive aggressive approach to saying that I'm really not Hall of Fame caliber. I'm really not Hall of Fame good. So I want to place my hopes and my dreams and my goals on other people's greatness. Because the only way you're going to win a Super Bowl is by having Hall of Fame caliber guys playing on your team. If I handle my business personally and I play at a high level and I achieve greatness in the things that I'm doing, that's me. Y'all just talked about LeBron James' ability to be great and to impact others. Greatness impacts others. So if I'm playing at the highest level that I can possibly play at, that means that I'm doing my part in terms of contributing to what this Super Bowl campaign would look like. Guys like Barry Sanders did everything humanly possible to guide and pull and drag his team to Super Bowls and even to the playoffs. But there are so many elements at play when you're trying to win a Super Bowl that the one thing that you can count on for sure is you can control your actions and your actions alone. So to me, a gold jacket says I did what I was supposed to do as a player and as a teammate, whereas a Super Bowl, you have to have the elements of a great organization. You got to have the elements of a coach. You got to have the elements of other players do what they're supposed to do in order for you to achieve that.
I did what I'm supposed to do.
That's correct.
That's correct. The school teacher.
That's correct.
Okay.
That's correct.
Football, the ultimate team sport. More than
but you just said
basketball,
team.
more than
You just said
baseball.
team.
Football, the
There's
ultimate.
a me and team.
Football is the ultimate
There's a me and team.
sport. Okay. So
All
I'm
right.
tired
There's a me
of
and team.
hearing all your eyes, LeVar. It's making me question, sir, how selfish you really are. See, LeVar, they don't drop confetti during the gold jacket ceremony. They drop confetti on you if you win the Lombardi. When you're a kid, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and you sign up to play the game of football and you start learning how to put on your little pads and your cute little helmet, you're not like, one day I want a gold jacket. Nah, You're like, one day I want to win a Super Bowl. Because when you're talking about a team sport, you want to accomplish team things. Marcellus, he's already told us his favorite sport is track and field. LeVar, you've also co-signed one of your favorite sports is track and field. If y'all want these individual accolades, then y'all should have played these individual sports.
Oh,
because
man.
football is a team sport. I would rather get me a Super Bowl because if you want to talk about that, LeVar, played that well, especially as a quarterback, which Matt Ryan is, I would have elevated all those around me. So give me that Super Bowl. Don't selfishly give me that gold jacket.
Oh, man, I knew this was going to happen. I have so much to say on this and so little time, so let me go. One, the goal should never be what a kid thinks and what a kid dreams of, confetti. Like, that's a childish dream. And then when you get grown, you start to realize that doesn't mean anything. I have 4 kids, and 3 of them are 4 years and younger. Right now, I could walk up to my son and say, I will give you $1 million or this one monster truck. Guess what he's going to choose? The monster truck.
The monster truck.
Like, so I'm not getting into what kids think, Acho. But this is all a part of the pandering process.
He's still playing the sandbox with him, though.
Dog.
So don't worry about it. Go ahead.
LeVar, every single active player lies about this publicly, and those who are newly retired like Acho lie about this publicly. But the grown folks in the room all know where the respect is Teflon. It's a Hall of Fame jacket. I have not ever in my life met one sorry Hall of Fame player. But I met countless sorry Super Bowl champions.
But they're still Super Bowl champions.
Talk about it.
No,
Go ahead, talk about it.
Let's go.
But they still champions.
Talk about it.
Right now, we're going to have a room.
Okay.
And this room is going to be a celebration of football. And only people invited are Super Bowl champions and Hall of Famers. So none of us is there. But there's going to be a room. There are 346 Hall of Famers walking in, and roughly 2,500 Super Bowl champions. In terms of exclusivity, in terms of uniqueness, who already is the winner in that conversation? The Hall of Famers. So let's get to a guy who's an exclusive Hall of Famer, but not a Super Bowl champion. Dan Marino walks in the room. And you trying to tell me that there is going to be an exclusive Super Bowl champion like I don't know, Matt Moore. or we want Brad Johnson. And Dan Marino has
or
to...
Nick Foles.
Or Nick Foles. And has to sit behind Nick Foles. Dan Marino is eating Nick Foles' dinner.
Let me tell y'all what we're not about to do. Because here's the thing. A Hall of Fame is a celebration for one. A Hall of Fame is a celebration for a family. A Super Bowl is a celebration for a city. Because when you win a Super Bowl like they did in Philly, the whole city went crazy.
Oh, more
it's
confetti.
not just one. It's not just Dan Marino and the Marino establishment and the Marino clan and the Marino family. When Foles won the Super Bowl with the Eagles, the whole city went crazy. See, here's what's taking me aback. See, the older y'all must have got jaded. That's the problem. I'm afraid to age now because aging is scaring me, making me realize I might wind up selfish and jaded like you two individuals.
LeVar.
Because a Hall of Fame.
Oh, I got him, Marcellus.
You'll be good.
Can I get him?
A Hall of Fame. Sure, LeVar. You'll be good. But what about those around you? I'm trying to bring joy to the city, to the state, not just to myself. What's wrong with y'all people?
You know, I'm so glad you just walked into the. I play chess, not checkers, by the way.
I do too.
Macho.
I do too.
Okay, well, here, I'm about to make a move and take your queen off of the board because you got too bold and you moved your queen in a place where she was exposed with no support. So here we go. I'm about to take her with a pawn. I'm not even going to use a rook or a knight or a bishop. I'm going to go with a pawn.
I got to play one day. I got to see that.
You just sat here and said how selfish I am, right?
I did.
I'm a social media guy. I'm on social media all the time policing all of the guys that I mentor and make sure I police that they don't make sorry decisions that can cost them in the future, right? So I happened to be looking at your page, and you were having a conversation with the one legendary Oprah Winfrey. In that conversation, she asked you, what was the most impactful part about what you had going on?
He on you. He on your neck. At your neck.
One Emmanuel Acho said, believing in the power of what, Mr. Acho?
You've been doing his research.
Believing in the power of what, Mr. Acho?
Yourself, I think I said. I think
you said the power of one person. What one person can do? Okay. So when I thought about what you just said and the reality of what this conversation has represented, I feel as though when you're talking about the power in which one person possesses to impact the world, then in the grand scheme of things, what is impacting a team in a season, right? Those are all minute details in the grand scheme of what one person's power can represent. So I'm taking the gold jacket because the gold jacket says to me that I have expressed, I have shown, and I have proven that the power of one can impact not only my outcome, but the outcome of others as well. Your queen has now been rested on my side of the board. Your move.
Your queen, his last name is Arrington right now. Damn it, that's what I'm talking about. Give me your queen. You have to excuse Acho when he gets into this pandering mode.
I need no excuses.
You know, here's a Wileyism for the masses about pandering. When I hear Acho continue to base all of his arguments around the word selfish. So the Super Bowl championship, I know why players lie publicly. I know why Acho's up here doing this right now. Because if you say Super Bowl champion, it sounds selfless. You can exude selflessness.
Go ahead and
Who
do
doesn't like to receive that?
Because it was.
But when you say when you're playing and you say Hall of Fame is my priority and focus, you sound selfish.
Because it is.
But I want everyone to start to use their logical reasoning and deduction skills and realize, what is the root word of selfish and selfless?
Self.
So
you got to be present.
The only thing that's funny about this is it's really a power grab. You're really trying to tell other people, I'm thinking of you first. And they receive it like, yay, thanks for the pandering. And then the selfish person is sitting there like, no, I'm thinking of me first, because even if I'm thinking of you first, I'm just lying to you. It's really coming back to one word. Self. But let's make Acho happy. We can't beat him up that bad.
Make him happy.
So let the confetti rain for Acho since this is his childhood dream. Oh, he has now made the city of Los Angeles so happy with his losing arguments and his Super Bowl championship that even he didn't win. Coming up, Tom Brady got another weapon in Tampa Bay. Talk about championships and confetti. We'll tell you if the new addition makes the Bucs the scariest team in the NFC. Next, Speak for Yourself is presented by Hyundai.
Though some of our other favorite sports may be on hold, horse racing is still running strong with live coverage of top-tier races on FS1 and FS2 throughout July. You can enjoy horse racing from top tracks across the country all month long. Visit americasbestracing.net/strong to learn more. Welcome back to Speak for Yourself. We're heading to Tampa Bay, where things just got a little shady. Six-time Pro Bowler LaShawn McCoy agreed to a one-year deal with the Bucs, a team that is already stacked. Tampa Bay has already had a busy offseason, adding two guys you've probably heard of in Tom Brady and Rob Gronkowski. Yes, the same Brady who has the most wins of any quarterback in NFL history, and Gronk, who has the third most receiving touchdowns by a tight end in NFL history. Joined once again by LeVar analyst, by LeVar Arrington, but Marcellus, I'm going to start with you. Are the new-look Bucs the scariest team in the NFC?
Absolutely, they are. And I don't want to couple that with the signing of LaShawn McCoy, who I think will be bonus, but it's not necessary to still say that Tampa Bay will be the scariest team in the NFC. Remember that song, Who Gonna Stop Me? Who gonna stop me, huh? Like, who is in their way in the NFC? Let's just be real about it. You can say the San Francisco 49ers. Scary team. I think a better team than Tampa Bay right now. But they're in the toughest division. The Rams are coming. The Rams were laying down, backpedaling, and were 9-7 last year. Seattle is in that division as well. It's going to be a war of attrition just to get out of that division again. They may be battle-tested, but they also may be scratched up. So other than San Francisco, I don't want to hear another team. New Orleans, I love you, Drew Brees. I love the New Orleans roster and offensive power. However, Drew Brees is going to be 41 years old going out there, and we saw him losing his arm strength versus Tom Brady. We just saw him lose his weapons. So it's a little different when you look at the birth certificate. What are you going to say? Green Bay? No one's respecting Green Bay the same. How do you even look at Green Bay the same? Oh, less of Aaron Rodgers was more for the team in terms of success. That's not going to be the way it works going forward. You don't know how Green Bay is going to play the situation. Seattle, I just don't see a team outside of San Francisco that is going to get beat up a little bit this year with the bullseye on them as well. and maybe a hangover from coming up short in the fourth quarter of a Super Bowl. So I think it is the scariest team.
Man, for me, the operative word you got to say is new look, right? We're talking about this conversation. We've posed this question because of Gronk and because of Brady. So the Bucs have upgraded on offense, but to me, the Bucs ain't really the scariest team. Now, scariest is best, so I'm going to say something that's going to raise some eyebrows. I'd put the Cowboys as a scarier team than the Bucs. Cowboys, they just drafted CeeDee Lamb, right? So that means they're about to have 3 top 15 receivers. Amari Cooper, Michael Gallup, CeeDee Lamb, first-round pick out of University of Oklahoma. Ezekiel Elliott, top 3 running back. Remember, Zeke was 4th in rushing last year after missing the whole offseason. Imagine a Zeke that's already primed, ready to go. And they got a top 3 offensive line. So you look at the Bucs, and are we really going to make the Bucs the scariest team because they added Gronkowski, who missed a year of football? I know another Hall of Fame tight end, and Jason Witten, that missed a year of football, came back, and he ain't really scared me all that much. Are we really going to say the Bucs are the scariest team because they added LaShawn McCoy? My dog, LaShawn McCoy. But he had 1 snap in the entire Chiefs Super Bowl postseason run and 0 carries. Are we really going to say the Bucs are the scariest team because they added a 43-year-old man in Tom Brady that apparently, statistically, has been on a decline? I can't do it. I won't do it. I can't win with it. I can't say that the Bucs, the new look Bucs, are the scariest team.
I like the journey you went on there, Acho. You know what, Marcellus? You know what I learn about you more and more as we do this show, and I really can apply this to our personal friendship when we talk outside of the show offline. Is you're like Eminem in 8 Mile. You know, in that last rap scene where he's got to fight against Papa Doc, and Papa Doc was ready to just take everything that Eminem was, his girlfriend with the homie, where he lived, all these different things. When you present an argument, you give all of the counterpoints first so that when we come, it doesn't seem as though our point is valid and legit, which I love that about you. It's very creative. People, you guys should really take notice and learn from Marcellus on that when you go do your debates. Now, I will say this. It does not devalue the point and the truth of this discussion. Yes, New Orleans does have an aging Drew Brees that could be in decline, and numbers could support that. But they are still a scarier offense than the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Yes, the 49ers can be looked at as the one team that could be the challenging team, and maybe you don't feel Garoppolo as the guy, but they are still a scarier offense than Tampa Bay. Yes, Seattle Seahawks with Russell Wilson and that group with DK Metcalf and Ty Lockett. Yes, they are a scarier offense, and I'm going to tell you why. I played for that team in Washington, all right? And the one thing that team in Washington did very well was sell wolf tickets during the offseason, all right? It was a smokescreen of massive proportion. We brought in Donovan McNabb, get behind 5. We brought in Deion Sanders, and we brought in Mark Carrier and Bruce Smith. Get on board. We got all these Hall of Famers. And we would always win the battle of the offseason. But when we got to the season, the one thing that you realize is that you still have to play those games. So it's not about saying, oh, wow, look at this personnel. They have all of the best football players you could have. Tom Brady, LaShawn just was added. They brought Gronk back. They got Mike and Godwin out there. Like, it sounds really good. But what we're not taking into consideration is COVID did not allow for a real, true offseason, for one. Secondly, coming into it, we don't know what the cohesion is going to be between player and coach, player and player. We have no idea how they're going to handle adverse situations, but yet we look at the nostalgia connected to some of these players, including McCoy. All 3 of those guys in the graphic are over the hill in every regard of the word. So even if they're able to have a good year, this is still all about selling tickets and getting people to watch games. I love the fact that Tampa probably sent you a nice little check the game plan and promote how scary this offense is. But this is wolf tickets, if you ask me.
Wolf tickets, huh? So you want to call me Eminem at the end of 8 Mile?
Yes, Eminem. Eminem.
I do know a lot about Eminem. I know he also had a song called Love the Way You Lie. And I'm just going to say, I love the way you lie right now.
All right.
Scarier offense, you're trying to say New Orleans. Who scored the third most points in the NFL last year? Was it New Orleans or was it Tampa Bay?
It was Tampa. It was a different quarterback.
I love you. They actually scored the same amount. See, I got you on your heels right now. They actually scored the same amount.
Right.
But let me just ask you this. Jameis Winston or Drew Brees? Which one's better? Oh, one of them is a backup to the other one, so we already know that answer, right? Now, Tom Brady to Teddy Bridgewater and Drew Brees. You answer that in this new system. You already know.
Well, you know who's not over the hill? The king, LeBron James. Coming up, LeBron's Lakers shut the door on Marcellus's Clippers last night.
Shut it.
But how impressive was it?
2 points.
We'll have Uncle Jimmy break it all down. Next, speak for yourself.
Welcome back to Speak for Yourself. Let's talk LeBron James, who got it done on offense and defense to lead the Lakers over my Clippers last night. We're joined now by Uncle Jimmy.
Uncle, what you sipping on?
You've been impressed by the Lakers win over my Clippers by only 2 points. Sorry, bud.
Hey, man, these young kids done finally pissed LeBron James off. Last night, LeBron James looked like that old man that be in his drawers yelling at kids to get off his lawn. You know how LeBron James said he wasn't going to turn his phone off during in the bubble?
Why you say that?
Because his kids ain't in the bubble to tell him how to turn it back on. If his kids was in the bubble, his kids would have said, yo, Pop, you missed all of that up under there. See? But otherwise, he didn't have them. That's what happened. He needs them kids.
Oh, boy, that's it for us.